Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. I felt really inspired to do a video today for you on a topic that has been coming up a lot. I always say when things pop up a lot with the people I'm working with, and it's also something coming up for me, it's just often a really good indicator that this is something that's more people need to talk about or need to maybe have support around. And that topic being, I don't know my purpose now. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know what I'm doing here, where things are going. I feel purposeless. And I want to talk about that for a moment. There is a dissolving happening right now in the collective, in our world, of structures that are that have four walls, if you will, that are very this is the box you fit in, this is what you do, this is your role, this is your title, and then you're really, really good at that. So you're an accountant and you're an amazing accountant, but that's it. That's who you are, that's what you do, that's your service in the world, right? But what a lot of people are recognizing is that that isn't what resonates with them anymore. Or what they're resonating is there's more to them that's coming online that doesn't have, it hasn't been expressed yet because there hasn't maybe been a space or a structure for some of these other parts of them, their gifts, these other parts of their gifts and who they really are to come forward. And so another good example is I work with a lot of therapists like myself that are, this is what you do, this is the box that you're in, these are the guidelines around it. That's great. That's awesome. Good to have those boundaries, 100%. And a lot of people are discovering that they have other gifts that they want to bring in. Maybe they're starting to notice that they're a lot more able to energetically work with people. Or maybe they're noticing their musical gifts come online, or they're noticing they want to spend more time doing other things like being creative and artistic. And so what I wanted to encourage those of you that might be feeling this kind of stagnation or what am I here to do? I would encourage you to really get honest about what you enjoy and not need it to be validated externally right now. Because this is part of the process. Part of understanding who you are and what you're here to do is not needing it to be externally validated first. Because if you do that, and you're setting yourself up to be disempowered. Because first we see ourselves, and then when we don't need to be seen by others is when we are seen. That's when we are able to really share those gifts. But first we see and acknowledge and honor all parts of ourselves. And so one thing that, I work with a lot of creatives. So I identify as a creative and a creative expressionist. It's very hard to just do one thing. And I think more and more people, their creativity and their inspiration is coming online big time because that's the energies that are coming in for us. And so to expect us to fit into these old roles and structures isn't fair. It's not fair to yourself to say, this is what you're doing and this is what you're doing for the rest of your life. You have to be really good at it. Or it's also not fair to say, well, I don't resonate with this, and so I'm going to leave it and go do something completely different. That's also not what we're here to do. We're not here to abandon ship. We're not here to leave our professions behind. We're here to be bridges. We're here to offer and be examples of what's possible. So meaning you can start, there's no guidebook for where we're headed. There's no guidebook for going forward. We're together moving into uncharted territory, and that's really exciting. For somebody that's a creative like myself and those of you that might be watching, that's exciting. We get to decide what the rules are, what the game looks like. We get to decide and create our own reality. And so that might not feel true for you in this moment, but that's part of the illusion we're breaking through. We're breaking the illusion that things are being done to us instead of this is happening for us, and moving into that space of empowered creator and conscious creator. So for example, Yothera Method, this offering that I have created, that is a blend. Yothera Method is a blend of all of the things that I love. It's my therapy skills, my clinical therapy skills, my yoga therapy skills, my breath work, my embodied practices, my energy, wisdom and knowledge. All of that comes together into my modality, Yothera Method. And that is one expression, one way that I can give a gift in a creative way. Now, obviously, it may not look like something like that for you. You may not go create your own modality, but it might look like, I'll just use maybe a friend as an example. I have a beautiful friend that is also a therapist. She's also an amazing nutrition coach. So she coaches nutrition. She should coach nutrition because she's very good at it. So she has a lot of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to nutrition for the body. She has a lot of wisdom and knowledge about how to move your body in a way that's like structurally good for the body. She also really enjoys art. So in her spare time, she paints. And so for her to come to if she were to say, well, I'm a therapist, and so that's what I'm here to do. And all the other stuff has to stay in its own little corner, its own little box. And I don't share that part of me. I share the therapist part, but I don't share the other part. That's what we're here to break. We're here to bridge. We're here to expand our roles. That gives other people permission to be their bigger selves as well. So she's bringing art into her therapy practice. She's getting creative with all of these different ways to assist her clients in pulling out these more creative parts. And why this is important is our unconscious mind, the subconscious, it reads what we avoid as dangerous, and it reads what we engage in actively and go after as safe. So that can work to our benefit or not, depending on what choices we're making. So as a creative, as somebody that feels like you have a lot to offer, I would encourage you to bring those into the light, meaning let them be seen more. Share them. You don't have to charge for it. That's where people get caught up. You don't have to charge for this. You just have to own it. Give it away for a while. Have fun with it. And the mind reads, if it's fun and effortless, this is something I want more of. And so more inspiration will pull from that. But if it's under this kind of pressure of I have to have it right, I have to have everything perfect before I offer it to the world, that's where the ego jumps in, and that's where scarcity comes in, and we want to stay away from those energies as much as possible. We want to go towards what's fun and playful, expansive, creative, because that is supporting the natural organic energies that are coming in for us right now it's going to support those creative endeavors. So I can't stress this enough. Use your creativity. You are the bridge. You are what's moving us into the future that we're writing it as we go. There's no guidebook. There's no right or wrong way to do what you're here to do. You just have to be open to being creative. And remember, coming back to seeing yourself first, honor who you are first, and from there, give it away from a heart space, not to get anything in return. Don't even charge for a while. Just feel it. Feel your own true essence and let yourself be seen in it. And that's moving you towards that edge of telling your unconscious mind, this is safe. It's safe. It's safe to be me. It's safe to express. And at some point, this may get to, a point where you're ready. You're ready to do a few pro bono things for people. you're maybe ready to do a few other, maybe a podcast. I just did a podcast with Mark. Oh, sorry, not Mark. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember his name. That makes me really, that's so sad. Stinson. Anyway, I just did a podcast on creativity and how to be your most creative self, and all the ways that we get in our own way of being creative. One of those being the ego, and one of those being having really heavy expectations on ourselves. And that actually shuts down the creative force. That shuts down our imagination, which is our superpower, and our inner child that wants to play and express. So this is how we learn to parent ourselves differently. Give yourself permission to not be perfect. How awesome would that have been for you as a child to really be given that permission? So that's how we reparent ourselves during this time, and also as we're moving into the future of our purpose. So again, don't get caught up on knowing the end game, because it's going to keep changing. So in Yothera Method, what we go through is we break down the old story and we move into this new story and creating from this creative space. And what I like to tell my clients is when you've written your new story, and when you've expressed your new story in these creative ways, you have to understand that's still just chapter 1. That isn't the end story of you. And that's where we need to really release all of these expectations on ourselves. So thank you. Thank you for letting me share that message. I hope that some of you found it helpful. And I would love to connect with you if you feel called. And you can email me at hello@yothera.com. And also, if you're interested in certification, or even just going through the Yothera Method for yourself, going through it for yourself, I have a 10-week group that starts January 12th, and early bird is open right now till the end of November. So you can use the discount code YM10 if you'd like to sign up for that. And then also certification is open for helpers and healers of all backgrounds that are working with other people or want to be working with others in a expansive way, where Yothera Method can be blended with what you're already doing and what you're here to do as a creative expressionist. It can really enhance your work and give you some foundation to really kind of launch you into your more creative expression and what you're here to do. So that can be found at yothera.com/certification if you're interested, and reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Have a beautiful day.